Coming up on Cardinals Insider.
To extend that relationship, just makes sense.
A pair of popular Cardinals are sticking around a while longer. Plus,
I just like that competing aspect of it.
Don't think. We profile Cardinal starter Jack Flaherty. And later,
it's really cool to be a really small part of history with the St. Louis Cardinals.
They're back. The Powder Blues debut this weekend. Get the inside story on their rebirth. Welcome to this episode of Cardinals Insider. I'm your host, Ozzie Smith. Everyone loves a feel-good story, and Jose Martinez and Miles Michaelis both have one. This spring, they signed new contracts with the Cardinals. Brett McMillan has more on the future of these fan favorites.
Two players whose paths to the big leagues have been anything but traditional. Some detours and heartbreaks, but each made it. And this spring, both were rewarded for their patience and persistence.
To extend that relationship, just makes sense.
When you treat people like family, family treat you like family.
Jose Martinez and Miles Michaelis will both be part of the Cardinals family beyond 2019. Martinez, a 2-year deal. Michaelis, a 4-year extension. Michaelis was due to be a free agent after 2019. He co-led the National League with 18 wins this past summer, a stat made even more impressive when you consider he just returned from a 3-year career reset in Japan.
Back-to-back strikeouts to start the night for Michaelis.
The Cardinals took a chance. It's now paid off for team and player alike.
This is where I want to be, I think. If you're in a situation like that and you're playing for a team that you want to keep playing for, then, it's never a bad idea to, go about it before you're a free agent.
Unlike Michaelis, Jose Martinez wasn't even due for arbitration until after this season. Instead of simply renewing his contract, the club re-upped him for 2 seasons, a reward for his production and reputation within the organization.
Not always do you get to do something that's like positive or beyond just a business decision, and that's what this was.
Martinez battled through the minors and unaffiliated ball for roughly a decade before breaking into the big leagues in September 2016. The last 2 seasons, he's proven one of the best Cardinal hitters, owning a better than .300 average in each campaign, and coming off a year where he led the team with 163 hits.
Into right, it's down! Jose Martinez, first ever walk-off hit!
So his new deal is just the most recent reason to cheer.
He got 2 really hearty, well-deserved rounds of applause from his teammates. Rightfully speaks to how much we care and think about him.
I just wanted to be here. I just wanted to stay in this clubhouse, stay in St. Louis and Busch Stadium. So just trying to just get to that promised land, just trying to get to the World Series and now win the World Series.
For Cardinals Insider, I'm Brett McMillan.
Jack Flaherty is in his first full year wearing the birds on the bat. Our Emily Stevens caught up with the Cardinals pitcher for this week's Player Profile.
One year down and a new beginning. Jack Flaherty, a rookie, no more. His strong arm left a lasting mark on the mound, striking out 182 batters in 151 innings. Going into his second year as a Cardinal, Flaherty's favorite part of the game remains the same.
Just competing every time we go out there, it's our kind of our one chance for that day, and for the next 4 or 5 days, that's our one day. So for me, it's just being able to go out there and compete. I look at it as it's me versus you, as you being the hitter in the box, and so my job is to get you out, your job is to get ahead off me, and it's just, I just like that competing aspect of it.
The first strikeout for Flaherty.
Jack is a fierce competitor, and regardless of circumstance, he is in game mode, which is why he's been able to accelerate his development through the system and at a young age establish himself as one of the top right-handed pitchers in the game.
While his love for competing stayed the same, his position on the field didn't. In high school, Flaherty played everywhere from shortstop to third and center.
The Cardinals made me switch, really, is what it was. It was my senior year. was kind of 50-50, and I did a lot better pitching than I did hitting that year. And so when the Cardinals drafted me, they took me as a pitcher, and that's kind of how things changed, and so that's where it switched for me.
The position change created immense opportunity, and Flaherty took full advantage. In May of 2018, he threw 13 strikeouts and only gave up 2 hits during his first Major League win against Philadelphia.
Swing and a miss. Got him that time. 13 strikeouts for Flaherty.
We always wonder what goes on in a pitcher's mind when they step up on the mound. Are they thinking about the batter or just focused on communication with the catcher? Well, Jack Flaherty has a different mentality when it comes to his thought process on the mound.
It's one of those things for me that it just started, and it's kind of stuck with me, and it's actually worked where I feel like I do my best when I'm not thinking too much. I'm not overthinking, and it just keep it simple that way. And so even games this year, it was what was going through my head, and it was really like nothing. It was just like I was going out there competing and just letting everything else take over.
From his fierce drive to compete to his relaxed mindset on the mound, Jack Flaherty is one of the most prepared players in the game and is ready for year 2 as a Cardinal. For Cardinals Insider, I'm Emily Stevens.
Straight ahead on Cardinals Insider.
Nothing is signed unless it's witnessed by a licensed authenticator through MLB.
We sit in on a Cardinals authentic signing with Harrison Bader. Also coming up,
I've never had a fan tell me it was a bad idea.
the Powder Blues are back. Hear the story of how they returned. There's nothing quite like being at the ball game, but the next best thing is bringing the ball game home with you. Cardinals Authentics makes that possible. They give the fans a chance to own certified game-used and autographed items. Here's a look at how they prepare for a new season.
Hi, I'm Ashley Brown, and I'm responsible for gathering signatures from Cardinals Authentics. So we are down here in Jupiter, Florida at the Cardinals Spring Training Facility getting autographs from players for the Cardinals Authentic shop. Well, we try to come down here. One, it's exciting because it's the beginning of the season, spring training is the kickoff, but we try to come down here and just do as many players as possible all at once, and then we start the season with brand new product in the store. So we do baseballs and photos for the most part, and then we do special items. So this season we're having Marcell Ozuna sign mini gold gloves. We had some jersey print posters for Carp. So Matt Carpenter signed those. But we try to limit it to just baseballs and photos because we feel like that's the easiest thing to sell. But we will customize things for certain players if there's something special we feel should be celebrated. For the most part, we do permanent markers for photos, and we'll use a Bic pen for the baseballs. So we find that the pens that we use hold the longest and will last for somebody's personal collection. But we'll go through probably about 70 pens through our time here at spring training, and probably about 10 to 15 markers. So we'll have each player's items separated out into piles. As a player comes up, we ask them, how do you like your baseballs? Do you want them in the box? Do you want them on the table? Everybody has their preference. Everything does get authenticated while we're down here. Nothing is signed unless it's witnessed by a licensed authenticator through MLB. So they're with us this whole time down here at spring training. I think the biggest thing for us is just the awareness of what Cardinals Authentics is. Down here, it's really nice because they know that we are the club. So what we're doing by getting their autograph is supporting the club. The money that we make in Cardinals Authentics goes right straight back into the club, no matter what capacity that may be.
Coming up,
I think this powder blue is going to be a winner for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Victory Blue or Powder Blue, whatever you call them, they're back. Hear how the new twist on an old look came about. Plus,
there's stories behind the equipment and the history of the game that are all embedded in this, which is really fun.
Baseball equipment has changed a lot. We take you inside the Cardinals Museum's new exhibit after the break. Welcome back. In just a few days, fans will fill the stands for the home opener. Some of them bought discounted tickets as part of the Report Day flash sale. Take a look at what the ticket sales office looks like when all those calls come flooding in.
Thank you for calling the front office of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Today is a very energetic, enthusiastic day. It's a day our pitchers and catchers are reporting to spring training. A lot of our fans are really excited, not only for hopefully warmer weather to come, but for baseball to be starting. And just the excitement that people are showing on the phones and online buying the tickets is pretty overwhelming, and we appreciate the support from all of our fans.
Thank you for calling the front office of the St. Louis Cardinals. This is Wyatt. How can I help you?
The flash sale day for us is, first of all, it's extremely busy. All the phone calls that come into Busch Stadium are handled in this room in the bullpen. So we have about 30 folks just answering phones, and our call volume is very high today. We have a lot of fans calling in, taking advantage of those great deals on tickets. A lot of people will go online to order tickets, but when you call in, you are talking to a direct sales representative. We know the seating locations, we know the stadium like the back of our hand, so you can get information from a sales representative that you can't necessarily get online. So it just walks you through the process a little bit easier, and I think it can be a little bit faster as well. We're just doing our job to help the fans when they do call in.
I would say the one thing that I would probably really want the fans to know is just how excited we are to take care of them on days like this. We just want to make sure that they know that we are so happy to be here for them, to be a customer service outlet for them. They're the face of the organization, the person they're talking to with the St. Louis Cardinals, and just really be able to take care of them in the best way that we can, and hopefully be able to get them down for a couple games and hopefully to see a winner.
Have you ever wondered how baseball equipment has changed over the years? Over the winter, the Cardinals Museum launched a new exhibit on just that. Here's a closer look.
We're really excited to open our special exhibit for 2019. It's called Pain, Protection, and Performance, the Evolution of Baseball Equipment.
I guess my favorite, I think, is the oldest cleats known to exist. That's pretty cool, back in the 1800s. So, and then the old catcher's masks. They're pretty primitive, but they got the job done.
My dad's batting helmets brought me here. It's a quick turnaround trip, but we just had to come and see the helmets on display that he and my Uncle Ralph invented back in 1952. But I'm very proud to be here. The exhibit's wonderful, and I really appreciate it. And everything that the Cardinals have done, it's been presented in a very nice way.
There's stories behind the equipment and the history of the game that are all embedded in this, which is really fun.
It's time for this week's trivia question. This weekend, the Cardinals will debut their powder blue road alternative jerseys. In which year did the Redbirds win the World Series and wear those famous uniforms? Was it 1982, 1985, 1987, or 1989? The answer when we return. We're back with the answer to this week's trivia question. We asked in which year did the Cardinals win the World Series and wear the powder blues? The answer is 1982. My teammates and I topped the Milwaukee Brewers in 7 games. The club debuted the uniforms in 1974 and retired them after 1986. But now a version of the jersey is back for select Saturday home games. Former Cards outfielder and current scout Kerry Robinson helped come up with the idea. Here's Kerry with more on how the Powder Blues were reborn.
Being a St. Louis Cardinal fan, I grew up as a fan as a kid, and now I'm a current scout for the Cardinals. I really appreciate the fact that wherever I go and my travels go, I always see every day, I'll see a Cardinal fan wearing a Cardinal hat or something like that. And occasionally there'll be a fan that will have that powder blue jersey. And I'll ask them, what do you think of the Cardinals wearing that uniform again today? And 100% of the time they're for it. I've never had a fan tell me it was a bad idea. So that all started it. It's really cool to be a really small part of history with the St. Louis Cardinals that I think is really going to be a winner for this organization. The white alone looks great. It's a beautiful uniform. And then we have our off-white Saturday uniforms, looks really nice too. And I think this powder blue is going to be a winner for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Coming up next,
I like to think if I did have one, I'd be maybe Brad Pitt.
We ask a Cardinal, do they have a celebrity look-alike?
Edgar
makes it an 8-game hitting streak. That drops. The Cardinals have their first lead. Renteria around first base, digging for 2. Safe at second.
Who will get a red jacket next? Vote at cardinals.com/HOF. This winter, Carson Kelly went to Arizona as part of the Paul Goldschmidt deal, but the Cardinals still have an exciting catching prospect. Andrew Knizner has risen quickly through the system the past 3 summers, and he's the subject of this week's Bear Farm Report.
Yeah, it's my 3rd big league camp, so I've been here a few times. Now I'm finally starting to get over that wow factor of seeing everybody like Yachty and Wainwright in the locker room, and now being able to kind of relax, settle in, and kind of get to work. Being a big league camp, you get to be around players in the big leagues, guys like Yachty and Adam Wainwright, who have played over 13, 14 years in the big leagues. You can learn so much just by being around those guys and just watching. Then when you start picking their brain and talking to them a little bit, then you can really, dive into their baseball knowledge and really get some good stuff. We talk about a lot of stuff, skills, techniques of catching. We talk about game situations, what to do, what not to do, how to take care of your body and prepare yourself for a full season. So there's a lot of stuff that Yachty knows. And I always say he's one of the great baseball minds in the game. So whenever I'm talking to him, I just try to be like a sponge and just soak everything up and put it right into my game. I think the number one thing is you have to know your pitching staff. You have to know the guys that you're out there working with, know what they like to throw, know what they don't like to throw, know every single thing about those pitchers. That way when it comes to game time, you're able to set up an effective game plan and go out there and execute.
Have you ever been mistaken for a celebrity? If so, you're not alone. In this week's Ask a Cardinal, we find out who the players get mistaken for.
Celebrity doppelganger. Maybe Ashton Kutcher at some point, somebody said. I don't know. Tall. That's about the best I can do.
I was always told John Krasinski from The Office. Jim. I don't know. That's what I've always been told.
I don't know. I like to think if I did have one, I'd be maybe Brad Pitt.
Meryl Streep.
I kind of gave myself the self-proclaimed name The Pebble because I feel like I kind of have resemblance to The Rock. I'm just about 2 feet shorter, so I figure like The Pebble, me and The Rock, we could do something. Kevin Hart was good, but me and The Rock could be better, I think.
Depends on maybe how I'm wearing my hair, but I think I've been compared to that guy who's Captain America. Maybe that's me being a little ambitious, but you got to shoot for something.
I would have to go with the character off of Everybody Hates Chris. A lot of people told me I look exactly like that guy.
I think I'm gonna pick that I look exactly like my father. So.
Someone told me I look like Sylvester Stallone once. Actually, twice. I don't see it.
I think that we share very similar earlobes. The bridge of our nose is almost identical, and our right eyebrows are nearly the same color, a nice light, soft honey amber oak.
Respect the game. Guap got the beat and I got the keys. Laying it down, make you move your knees with ease, please. No need to grease. Take it back and do the robot freeze. Rock him and Eric B gets a blessing. KRS-One, that's Chris One. Stop messing. This is reminiscent hip hop confession. Teach one to reach one. That's always a lesson. Respect the game.
He struck him out, and he knew it. He's jumping up and down.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Got him looking. Got
him. Who will get a red jacket next? Vote at cardinals.com/HOF. Thanks for joining us on Cardinals Insider. This episode is almost over, but our content is always online. Visit cardinals.com/insider or the club's YouTube page for full episodes and individual stories. That's it for this week. We leave you with the sights and sounds of Cardinal baseball. We'll see you at the ballpark.
This is going to be halfway to second talking about I can get more. All right, get the hard one down. Go! Yes! We got it now. That was good. Nice. Oh, yeah. Don't do it here. We'll get you those. Thank you. Woo! What an athlete Johnny can. Take it. Here you go. Tough play right here.